So we've got Charlie Wright on the show on this week's Prop Show. Big in the game. Charlie, in 30 seconds, not 3 minutes or 10 minutes like the previous one, someone that was on the show, tell us who you are and why you should be here today.
I'm Charlie Wright. I have been campaigning for 20 years to make moving easier by giving agents better tools to do it.
Yes. Why?
Hell, everybody, including agents.
Oh, no, come on, why?
Why?
No, Chris, this man's got some actually useful ideas.
Has he?
You know, we say prop tech, schmop tech, always providing solutions to problems that don't exist. Charlie's got some great ideas.
The thing that's always struck me is that movers and agents want the same thing.
Yes.
For the move to happen.
Yes.
Yes.
So why is it such an eternal shit fight?
Is that technical term?
That is a technical term, yeah.
You know, why has it always been the most stressful thing apart from divorce?
Yeah.
You know, and you've got agents and movers who want the same thing, which is for the move to take place, because otherwise agents don't get paid, and yet it's still an absolute shit thing. And it has been for a long time, and my life's mission, my career mission has been to try and solve that problem. I'm getting close.
Okay, so what's coming up on this week's show?
On this week's show, we're going to be talking about online estate agents and the future of them, and the fact that unfortunately a lot of people have been made redundant recently, and we're going to be talking about what Charlie thinks about how those people are going to be employed in the future. I thought that was quite interesting.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about prop tech, schmop tech, and we're also going to be talking about what Steve says.
Ah, awesome. Okay,
Our man on the ground.
Our man on the ground.
Happy New Year, Steve.
Happy New Year, Edgware.
Shall we say, you go on.
What? Oh, roll VT.
Welcome back. Although you've already had your 2019 show, this is number 2 of 2019.
No one cares about numbers. We're so out of sync, it's unbelievable. I tell you what, let's get straight down. We've got this man, he's flown up from, where have you flown up from?
London today.
London?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Not many people fly to the show.
I did actually drive today, but I
You could fly.
I'd love to fly.
Why don't we go straight into the Q&As?
Okay.
Yeah.
Ask the Prop Show. Fez on.
There was. I don't know if you saw it over Christmas, but there was a tribute hour long to Tommy Cooper.
There was.
Yeah.
And also the guy from Madness off of the New Year show.
Suggs.
Yeah, sorry, Suggs. That's right. The saxophonist. Is he wearing the fez?
Ron Burgundy.
Ron Burgundy.
You know that's the first sign of madness. What is the first sign of madness?
Talking to yourself.
No, Suggs coming on stage.
I'll give you that one.
Nice.
Okay, let's
Charlie, you said in the green room pre-show that 2019, that 2019 was going to be a catalyst for change for estate agency in the UK. Why is that?
Yeah, 2019 will be looked back upon as the start of a new era of the estate agency for a number of reasons.
Ooh, I like it.
There's a sort of blood-covered battlefield from 2018 where the online corporates and the independents...
They did do battle, didn't they?
And there's a lot of injured people.
Yeah.
It's a real bloodbath, and but that battle's over now. And I think one of the results of that was the number of people who lost their jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And the number of businesses going out of business, and that's predicted to get worse this year by a lot of people. And the reason I think that's going to turn into something great for 2019 is I think that, first of all, independent agents can hold their heads high and say, we survived that battle and we've come out on top. And 2019...
Are they out of it?
No, not yet. But they're definitely through the worst. I think. I mean, there may be some still. There's going to be the weak and the strong are going to survive. The weak may not. But looking at the industry from a wider point of view, there are people there who have weathered a hell of a storm. Market conditions, legislation changes, and the onslaught of hugely well-funded failures.
Very well-funded failures.
That have just not helped anybody.
No, true.
There's a lot of casualties, a lot of staff lost their jobs. But what I think is going to be different this year and very interesting is a huge number of millennials in their early 30s now who have been employed as estate agents for the last 10 years or so.
Yeah.
And who have either lost their job or are fed up with their job and who are much more comfortable with using everyday tech.
because I don't know if you've noticed, but when I were a lad back in the day,
when everything was in black and white.
Yeah,
he was sepia.
Just
okay, 47 years ago. But 20 years ago, if you got to like 25, 26 and you were half decent, you'd set up your own estate agency. You don't see the 25, 30-year-olds setting up their own estate agencies. Why?
Well, first of all, I think that generation doesn't like starting work as early as we did 20 years ago. They like to keep on travelling for as long as they can, and why not?
Yeah,
true.
Secondly, there's a lot more competition now than there was back then. Probably because it was harder to start up back then.
Yeah.
I've got some numbers on that actually.
Yeah.
Go, Stato.
2004, there was 8,500, 9,000 estate agents that sold 1.8 million houses.
Oh, hang on. Go again.
8,500 to 9,500 estate agents in 2004 sold 1.8 million houses.
Okay, go again.
And this in 2018, we haven't got the final figures in, but it'd be about 1.1 million houses sold, with around 19,500 to 20,000 estate agents.
So
you work your sums out, and I can't work it out now, but I'm sure Jess will sort it out in the ratios.
So should we have a percentage increase?
Yes. So the percentage increase
is this.
Well, actually, it's probably not a percentage increase. It's the ratio.
a smaller slice of the pie.
Yeah, whatever. But anyway, the numbers will be there, and it'll look dead sexy.
Excellent.
But the big difference between then and now is that you can now run a business with far lower overheads than you could back then.
Yes,
hugely.
that is true.
Well, we had Matt Wells from Northallerton on a few months ago now, but he's one of these guys that will take a call while he's on holiday and reroute it to his virtual assistant, or it'll be rerouted to him, and he'll set up a booking when he's back.
Well, this is the other reason behind the millennials. A lot of them are after lifestyle as much as they are after money.
Yeah.
And if they're working for themselves, they really can, and they're much more comfortable working remotely, working mobile. They're very, very happy using tech, which former employers aren't as comfortable with.
Yeah.
And
I think social media's got a big role.
I think we might be close to peak social media.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, we were chatting about this before, because I said to my mum and dad over Christmas, in our lifetime there'll be another Facebook. Like, I think Facebook will probably continue for many years, and Zuckerberg's no fool. He's putting a lot of money into videos and stuff like that. But there will be another big thing at some point. No one thinks it's ever coming, but it always does.
Yeah.
You've got kids now, 12-year-old kids going, Facebook, that's what my parents are on.
Yeah.
Which is good news for estate agents and letting agents, because that's where the customers are. We're not going after 18-year-olds, we're going after 30, 40, 50-year-olds.
No, but it is remiss of us to say that young people don't use Facebook, because that is just simply not true. The numbers don't
Define young people.
Well,
younger than him.
there's not no, but no.
You're not talking about teenagers. You're talking about
teenagers will continue to use Facebook because of the bolt-ons that Facebook. One second, because of the bolt-ons that Facebook have. So Facebook own Instagram.
Yeah.
And that populates to Facebook. Facebook have Facebook Messenger, which is hugely popular. Facebook Marketplace is massive for
What's your point?
Buying and selling. My point is that young people will continue to use Facebook, and 1 billion users won't disappear overnight. But as Matt
what does that mean to estate agents?
What does it mean to estate agents? Yeah, that's what we're trying to drill down. Do you think social media has?
Well, he ain't come up from London. Let's find out what he says.
That's what.
You can tell we've had a few weeks apart.
Do you think that it still has a role to play?
Hugely, absolutely, because it's like it or not, it's where your reputation happens.
Yes.
True.
Okay, and reputation is what the best agents trade off.
Yeah, people buy from people.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's not what you say about yourself, it's what everyone else says about you.
True.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why big global brands have got 24-hour centres where they're monitoring what other people say about their brands. They don't decide it themselves.
No. So, what does 2019 look like for Charlie?
Oh, easily looking to be the best year of my career.
Can we just time out on that one? We haven't finished this question yet.
What question?
The question was what was the question?
Social media has...
And millennials and the startup lifestyle.
Sorry, let's bring it back. We were talking about the people who work for the corporates or who have been made redundant from your e-moves and other sort of things, starting their own business.
Yeah.
That's where the question was. Bring it back.
Okay.
I think it's actually in no small way, partly thanks to BestAgent as well. Things like BestAgent, it is easier to set up on your own now than it's ever been before.
Yes.
Okay, as a full service agent, Okay, not as an online one or a hybrid, a full service agent. I honestly think that the debate about having high street premises or not is a dead out of date. It's no longer a relevant topic. Where you choose to sit down when you work, as long as your customers can reach you and you can meet them face to face, it doesn't matter.
No, it really doesn't.
It's very weird about On the Market's decision not to allow agents who don't have a high street office to be on the market.
Oh, really? Right.
On the Market. Do you like that advert?
I haven't seen it.
Never seen it, mate.
No, I'm saying there's a tumbleweed.
Well, I don't know. Why would they take a choice like that? Or is that not just cutting out
They're
decent
trying
agents?
to appeal to the traditionalists who believe that if you don't have a high street, then you're not a real estate agent.
But I thought those guys were up on point with what's going on, and that's a traditional view, which is not.
Who On the Market?
Yeah, why would they do that? Because
it's one of their points of difference to get people on board.
Is it right?
Yeah. So it's a very. I don't understand why they've done it.
Yeah.
Okay. If I can wear, I'm wearing the hat now.
Oh, well, I'm going to take that off then. If you're going to start asking questions.
Okay then. Well, I'll wear the hat then.
No.
All right. Okay. I'm wearing a hat now. Where do you stand on the online versus high street versus corporate versus independent question?
Ooh. If any of you can tell me why it is in a home mover's interest, particularly a vendor or a landlord's interest, that the agent that they instruct has got head office overheads and management layers to pay for, right? If any of you can tell me how that makes the vendor's experience better, I'd love to hear it, because I, after 20 years of looking, cannot see how that adds any value whatsoever to someone who needs to sell their house.
It's not part of the process, is it? Whether you've got an office or
yeah, but it's good to have an area manager and a BMW drive around the country.
As a vendor, yeah, oh, lovely, yeah. You'd like to know that your fees are paying for that, right?
No, but in it,
there was a
structured
time,
organisation though that has, has some of those layers. I don't know.
But how does it benefit the customer?
I don't know.
Right. This is why.
But that's where Countrywide went wrong, wasn't it? Is that they centralised everything and pushed all the power and the decision making up the tree?
It's one of the ways that Countrywide went wrong.
yeah, not the main reason they offered the same products alongside.
First-hand anecdote from 10 years ago when I was selling my software system at the time, Easy Match, and we were called in to pitch to Countrywide. And it was one of those pitches when I was pitching to one of their senior IT people. And you can tell by someone's body language and how they treat you, and you walk in, before it's even started, he's just doing this so he can say that he has.
Yes. Tick box.
Yeah.
They had the worst and the oldest and the clunkiest IT setup that I'd ever come across. And bear in mind, at that time, all I did all day every day was go around different agents and see what IT setups they had. Right? And I remember thinking when I walked out of there, because we were just dismissed out of hand, even though we had, in many ways, the most advanced tech on the market, thinking to myself, if the management of Countrywide don't know that's happening, then it's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
What would you do with Countrywide?
I'd take it out to field and shoot it.
That's a bit
Sorry, so no, Countrywide as not the people. There's nothing wrong with the people in it, right?
Okay, so if you
The
were,
brand.
if you were running Countrywide, because
Yeah.
I asked that same question of Russell Quirk a couple of days ago, and he said that he would sell some of the brands off, get some money back, reduce the debt, push all the power out to the branches and tell them to get on with it.
Yeah, there are some gems in there, right? There's some nice brands that do very well, and of course you wouldn't. You'd sell them, but the point is, you would basically liquidate it as an organisation. It's no longer got a real future because it's just too old and clunky and cranky. It's not going to be able to. You're not going to be able to put a new bodywork on that, and it's suddenly going to be a beating car again. The brands that they've got, the good brands that they've got, they should allow those brands to flourish by setting them free, giving to a new owner. I mean, that's what I do. It's just the corporate structure in all industries is serving the consumer less and less and less.
Yeah.
So what does that mean for independent agents then?
Happy days. I mean, I have all. I've never been an estate agent. I've had corporates and small agents as independents, and as clients for 20 years. I had Countrywide were a client of mine once. Hamptons, Knight Frank, South John D. Wood, but lots of small ones as well, and lots of sort of medium-sized independent award-winning agents. So I really have had all of them. So I have a completely impartial viewpoint. And independent agents, owner-managed independent agents,
Which is the majority of the industry,
are the ones who deliver the best value to the customers because they've got the most to lose if it doesn't work out.
Yeah.
You were speaking about Russell Quirk. Thanks for that, Charlie. We were speaking about Russell Quirk. Why don't we have a bit of an extract from your interview with him? You had some time with him.
Went down on the 4th of Jan, so that was a few weeks ago, and very interesting chat. And all of the interviews will be on my YouTube channel now.
Just a bit of preamble. How was he? Because he's had a lot of stick, and probably rightly so in part. What was his demeanour? What does he feel about it? He's obviously read the articles about him and eMove, and people watching now. I know one of the mums at the school gates who lost £900 because it all paid up front and stuff, and her local agents actually absorbed that cost to a certain degree and probably raised their fee or dropped their fee a little bit. But has he seen what it's done on the ground level? Not that it's completely his fault, obviously, but
let's be honest. He is a tall poppy. He's very good at PR and he gets his name out there.
Yeah.
I asked him if I actually accused him of being a media whore, that him actually trying to do all the PR actually took his focus off running the business.
Right.
Interestingly, he disagreed with me and gave me a reason why.
Well, let's have that now.
Russell, in a previous video, you used the word sofa snipers for people criticising you on websites like Property Industry Eye and Estate Agency Today. What do you think to those people?
Criticism's fine. I'll take criticism. I work with the board of directors for long enough to know that you have to be thick-skinned and you have to take criticism. I guess that the issue, not that I particularly give a toss, frankly. I guess the issue with Property Industry Eye and Estate Agent Today's commentators is that they're anonymous. The majority of them are, they're sitting there with a metaphoric bag over their head. I think if you haven't got the guts or the courage to kind of put your head above the parapet, don't snipe at someone that does. And I have done nothing but put my head above the parapet, as you well know, for the last few years. I wear my heart on my sleeve. I tell you how it is. And when you've got, PB197 and X-Ray Man and, all sorts of other weird and wonderful anonymous labels sniping at you from the sidelines. So, of course, what you can't then do is go back to them and say, well, hang on a sec, let's look at your reviews, shall we? Let's look at your business history. Let's look at your staff ratings on Glassdoor and so on. Of course, you don't then have the ability to level the playing field. So, look, I don't take those comments very seriously. And I don't think, to be honest, from the comments I've had from dozens and dozens of people that have been very supportive of me over the last few weeks, I don't think any right-minded person in the industry characterises the industry's opinion by 5 or 6 anonymous, snipers that are basically nothing more keyboard warriors.
Have you not set yourself up? Because as a PR whore, you're all over the bloody place. If there's any, I even wrote an article about you in October.
It was and I think parts of it were even complimentary.
And it was mostly complimentary. I said there's some of the things I don't agree with the subjects, but I certainly agree with the way you're doing it.
Yeah.
Because it almost seems to be, if you don't mind me saying, you seems to be the focal point of people's vitriol on the online agents, and now you've failed. Everyone's going, ha ha ha, the end of online, it's the end of online.
Do you think they really think that? That because Hatched was closed and because eMove has now failed, people honestly think that means that there's no need to worry about transforming the industry?
I genuinely believe...
That's really fucking naive.
I know, I do. I think they've won the battle, but they ain't won the war.
No, for sure. And actually that kind of accidental fake complacency... look, I'll go back to what I was saying in 2010-11. This industry is going to change. Now, I might have tried to change it too far over here for all sorts of reasons. The money we spent on marketing, the fee we were charging and so on. That doesn't mean, though, that the consumer's not changing their approach and their attitude. It doesn't mean that you don't need to have 850 branches anymore at massive increase in cost in rent and rates and people. It doesn't mean that marketing hasn't changed. We're now a digital marketing consumer.
But do you think with eMove, if you'd have spent less time doing PR and more time spending in the business, you'd have been more of a success?
No, not true. PR takes no time at all. Most of the radio stuff I do is either on the phone for 5 minutes or it's chatting to Julia Hartley Brewer at 6 o'clock in the morning. So that would be a ludicrous proposition.
Okay.
And look, PR, I can tell you. Let me tell you how underrated PR is generally, and particularly in the estate agency industry.
Well, it's you.
What? It's not all me.
Well, no, but
one or two other people do get a word in sometimes.
Well, there's Henry Pryor.
Yeah.
You.
Yeah. Kate Faulkner.
Love Kate Faulkner.
Yeah.
Love her to bits.
Yeah. And there might even be one or two others. No. It's
there is an opportunity there, though. Isn't there?
The PR doesn't take loads of time. You know, we had me and one person doing PR. So we would create the ideas, we would write the content and distribute, and we ended up with between 1,800 and 2,000 pieces of coverage for eMove on an annual basis. You know, I do radio, last year 75, 80 times, I guess. The supposition that it's time consumptive to the distraction of everything else is wrong, because it doesn't take much time at all, because it kind of just rolls. You just, you know, I mean, Anna White from the Telegraph or Louisa Fletcher from the Express might ring me on the way home. It'll take me 4 or 5 minutes, if that, to give them a quote, and that appears in the Telegraph and the Express the next day. But the consequence is, this is what I think the industry perhaps should wake up to, is that PR is not only massively underrated, because you're not paying for it on a coverage basis. It's not like an advert that you're having to pay £1,000 for a full page in the Gazette or £10,000 for a full page in the Daily Mirror or whatever. You know, you generally will pay a retainer, and then you get, hopefully, if you can use a decent agency, you'll get, you know, lots and lots and lots of coverage. But PR then will grab attention, drive people to your website. So obviously it's acquisitive. But what PR also does, which needs to be understood, it shapes your tone of voice and your positioning as a business. And it's also third-party validation. If the Daily Express are saying something about you, and it's not just in a paid-for advert, then there's a credibility to it.
Well, look at what Savills do. They're the kings of PR, aren't they?
They've got huge research. I mean, look, Savills, Knight, Frank and Sol, and they've got dozens and dozens of people effectively in PR, but they badge them as something different. They research.
It's a research department.
But the research is just like when you and I had this little debate, I think, online the other day, didn't we? In terms of this is what you should do in terms of using research and statistics to get coverage. Yeah. And I think I replied, it can be summed up in 2 letters: PR.
Yeah,
and that's what it is.
Well, that's Burns.
But the other benefit. So in a sector that is so competitive like estate agency, when ultimately you could have, let's say, I don't know, 35 agents in Walthamstow, 26 in Brentwood, and 43 in St Albans. When that consumer in that area is Googling, sell my home Hampstead, value my home St Albans, get my house online, whatever, you can either pay Google hundreds of thousands of pounds a year for the paid ads, or you can use PR to fuel your SEO natural search position, which is what we did at eMove, which is now, even today, if you Google online estate agents, eMove was number 1, Teplo was kind of second or third. That SEO was as a direct consequence of what we did with our PR.
Do you know what? We're going a bit off topic now, but hey, that's why we're here. Do you know, if I was running a brand new online estate agency, well, it doesn't necessarily have to be online, but just an estate agency, what I would do is actually create content about each of the town's property market and talk about the property market and what's happening to prices and rents and yields, which is what Savills do. Probably just not some, and probably talk about almost the best of both worlds, because you were very much about the person.
No, I was about the market, so I was asked to comment frequently either on the.
But why don't you have one person per town?
Well,
a little Russell in each town.
Well, if you
could clone you.
Perish the thought. Look. So doing, I mean, it's what I call templated PR. We use the same PR release with different data for each area. Yes, of course. But I think the industry just needs to wake up to how really valuable that is.
Well, of course it is, because
if you're doing it and nobody else is, not only do you get that coverage and that authority as far as the consumer's concerned, but it might take 6 to 12 months, but all of a sudden you'll notice that when you're Googling estate agents Chichester or estate agents Gloucester, all of a sudden your business is up there rather than down here.
Well, I've been doing it for 5 years. I ghostwrite articles about local property markets for over 100 agents, and they get 20-30% growth.
Yep.
By talking about the one thing that homeowners are interested in, which is...
But the problem with our industry, of course, is that...
people talk about themselves.
Let me make a generic sweeping statement about our industry. That generally, and obviously this doesn't apply to everybody, so before you have a comment pop up that says, well, I'm not like that, well, of course not everybody is. I'm averaging, I'm being generic.
Go on then.
Most estate agents don't like change, and they don't embrace innovation, and they don't do new things. I mean, that is I've been in the industry 25 years, and my experience of the industry generally, and I know a lot of people in the industry as a consequence of that 25 years, is that it's very, very hard to sell the industry new things.
Well, tell you what, let's talk about that in the next video.
Interesting. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
I asked him about his staff. I asked him about them losing their jobs and the people losing money and the investors and the way he run his business. I like the guy. So I think the bottom line is this, is that he put himself on the top of the pyramid and was, shouting about the wonderfulness of being an online estate agent and extolling the virtues of being an online estate agent. And due to the fact is the way he ran his business and the way he funded it and the things like that, it just went belly up.
May I?
Yeah.
An online estate agent is like having an online massage shop. You can't give a massage online.
No.
It's personal service.
Yes.
Right? You can't, imagine sort of, I'm going to get an online massage.
Log on.
And you have a call centre to do your massage over the phone. It doesn't work. Although estate agent doesn't involve physical contact, it is almost as personal as a massage.
Yes.
You're selling your house. Your circumstances are intensely personal. Your reasons, your finances, your fears, your worries about the process. You need someone there to say,
the size of that asset demands that, doesn't it?
Yeah. But it's not just the money. It's the reason for moving. Is it school? Is it someone's dying? These are life-altering circumstances.
Yeah,
Money is just one of the things that happen.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And anyone.
You said 2 minutes ago where you operated from was irrelevant.
That's right. It is relevant.
And that's the word online.
I'm saying full service. So I'm saying if you're servicing your customers via a call centre, if you cannot reach your agent the day you want to reach them.
Oh, so you're not slagging off, or should we say, not extolling the virtues of online. You're basically saying as long as there's a person on the ground, you don't mind them working from their kitchen table.
No. As long as you know that they're there and you can reach them, they'll be there for you and they've got time for you.
Yeah.
And the simple mathematical calculation error that the online agents have made is they think, well, all we've got to do to sell a house is get a buyer, get an offer, and then leave.
Well, you could have done that 2 years ago. Whack it on the market and off you go. But you're not going to do in 2019. It's bloody hard work selling houses.
It is, and it's very hard work, and you need people to do it, and those people cost money.
Yes.
And anyone who thinks you can sell a house for 900 quid,
Well, Russell actually said it was too cheap.
and he's only just figured that out. Seriously. This is my point. Quality estate agents expect to earn a decent living.
Yeah.
That living costs money, and their time is what they are selling.
It's a skilled profession.
So the time that's involved in
It's like camera
negotiating.
work.
Yes.
Yeah, anyone can whack a
When it's in
mobile phone.
focus, we get paid.
What they're not factoring into their costs is when a deal starts to fall apart, and the human.
Oh, I tell you what, finding a buyer is the easy part. Well, it was. It's getting the deal through to the completion.
Yeah, and it's such a subtle, nuanced process.
So what would you do differently about this? What would you do differently? He said, waiting for her.
About what?
About changing this estate agency market, because that's what you said at the top of the show.
One of your LinkedIn posts recently was talking about fixing estate agency. I don't believe estate agency needs fixing. I don't think it's ever stopped working. We've just been distracted by all the new shiny stuff with all the PR. But the good estate agents who've always been there have not stopped doing what they do. They aren't broken. They don't need fixing. What's going to change is, I think the public, thanks to the car crash that is Purple Bricks, are going to begin to appreciate...
Personal opinion.
Well, I was going to say, because I trotted out one of your Stato stats over Christmas. I was like, around the kitchen table going, I know what I'm talking about. But they've taken, 7-8% of the market? Slightly less than they predicted, but they're in there now. And they're thinking
all
now...
All they've done is take over what used to be private sales. And that's all they'll ever do.
But are they not thinking about now having the odd high street shop and presence and sort of moving into that... Not moving onto the high street fully, but...
A lot of high streets are closing. I mean, Humbert's have gone to a different model, haven't they?
Yes, the hubs. Yeah.
Okay, the online market's got around 6.5%, 7%, of which a big chunk of that is Purple Bricks. I think they just they looked at what the others did, they looked what Hatch did, looked what eMove did. What they did really importantly is instead of every few months going with a begging bowl for a couple of million quid, because these businesses, Russell was saying his business was costing him £800,000 a month to run. So basically most of his time was every few months going out saying, crowdfunding, saying gives a few million quid.
Yeah.
Okay, whilst Purple Bricks actually went and did an IPO in the city, which is kind of like, selling the shares off, and they've got like... Well,
And they're not spending like £1 million a month on TV and...
Jesus.
Yeah.
Speaking of, shall we find out
What our man
the
says?
ground says?
Steve, it's over to you, my friend.
Steve Says! It's a great day to make a video.
Thanks, Steve. Another wise word from Steve there.
Thanks, Steve. Yeah.
I like the way his eyes just rolled to the top. Okay, come on then. Prop tech.
Well, prop tech, it's not how big it is, it's what you do with it that counts. It's
We've all heard that.
And I think the best way to describe, I was talking to Chris Arnold. What a great guy.
What about Chris Arnold?
Yes,
And I was
we do.
explaining to him that too much of the conversation about property now is binary. It's do you or don't you. Well, that's the wrong way to look at it. It's an 80% relationship business, and if you 20% tech, then you're going to massively make your job easier and allow yourself to give more people better good service.
Yes.
Right? But the biggest failure in this industry so far has been the failure of estate agency suppliers, particularly technology ones, to work together.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
And that has created what we discovered last year, partly thanks to you at the September conference, the BestAgent Marketplace conference. The biggest frustration that agents have is what they're calling prop tech fatigue or interface fatigue, having to log into multiple different places to access the different services.
Yeah, passwords and logins.
Each member staff's got to have a different login and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And what I can tell you now, and this is the first place I'm saying it, is
Exclusive.
right now is happening the biggest ever collaboration between suppliers that this industry's seen. That collaboration is going to bring the best tech, overall tech possibility to the small agents first. Now, that's not intentional. It's a happy side effect of the way it's being built. But the it's BestAgent Marketplace, and we went out to suppliers and they all said this, we want to do this. We want to make it easier for agents to access our products.
Makes sense,
right? And agents have said, we did a survey and 73% it would be transformational for their business if they could access all their suppliers in one place. Okay. When you start to put them all together, it's real alchemy that's happening.
I was going to say it must be a beast of a system.
Well, it is. It's a hell of an undertaking, but we've got a lot of companies, a lot of resources, and a lot of intelligent brains put together behind this to make this. The BestAgent Marketplace is going to be a complete game changer, and it's going to be one of the side effects that we've seen is I think it's going to eventually, not for a few years, but the whole concept of a CRM where you have to punch stuff in manually will just be gone. And the portals that currently position themselves between the public and the industry, and you have to go through them if you want to win business, and you have to go through them if you want to inquire, and they take their cut, and it's a very, very large cut.
It is.
And it creates friction. It's not adding value to the process for either side. Eventually, portals will become an optional marketing extra, like newspaper advertising. And what will happen is what's happened in other industries too. Okay,
He got his attention. Right? He's like, never heard of such a thing.
Where
the
the movers will be able to much more easily find the agents they need to talk to, whether they're looking to instruct one or looking to view a property. Okay, and at the moment, the portals are the friction in the way of that process being easier, and through the process of working out how the marketplace is going to work. In other words, one system which allows all an agent's suppliers to talk to each other and streamline the whole thing. One of the happy side effects of that is that because of some of the individual PropTech offerings out there, lead generation stuff, whether it's for applicants, whether it's for clients, online viewing booking stuff, right, all this kind of stuff, it's going to become seamless in a way that the portals will just be seen to be what newspapers were 20 years ago.
I was going to say, in 2 years' time, when we're still making this show, will we be saying, yes, but years ago you used to pay that for Rightmove.
They're going to be around for a long time yet, but I think 2019 will see the beginning of the end of portals.
So in terms from a small independent in Grantham, for example, Chris and I run it, and we pay for one product. and everything's involved, and then the companies take their own
No,
cut?
it's more like a smartphone. So
Okay,
where
right.
you pick the apps that you want. So each agent is unique, right? Each individual agency business is unique. Its market is unique. Its customers are different. The style of the owner that runs it is different.
Okay, right.
And what they've been saying they want is, I want to choose the suppliers I want that suit my business.
Yes, yes.
Right?
Yeah, because everyone's different.
Everyone's different, and in the same way that every single one of our smartphones has got a different set of apps.
True.
Every single agent will have a different set of suppliers that suits them,
And they all talk to each other.
and they will all talk to each other in the way that the apps on your phone can.
Yeah, yeah.
Chris has had a full set of interview with Charlie on a lot of these topics. So if you want to find out more about Charlie Wright's take on 2019 estate agency and what the future holds for the high street etc, visit Chris's YouTube channel. Link is here. And the full set of videos will be available for you to watch. Charlie, thanks a million for coming in today. It's been fantastic to see you again.
More coffee, more chats.
We just need to quickly thank our non-financial show sponsors.
Nintendo.
One Dome for those.
One Dome!
Do you know what? How amazing would it be if Nintendo
Hey, come on,
sponsored the show?
put the One Domes on.
Oh, yeah.
One Dome!
Okay, you've got your Yondell socks.
Thanks for those, Yondell.
Thanks for You Move.
For the mugs.
Okay,
Land of New Homes.
SDL for that.
Land of New Homes.
Moss Properties.
John
Good
Paul,
Lord.
Castledine, Good Lord.
Yeah. So,
Thanks
there's
a
only one
million,
thing
guys.
to say, and that is...
Shalom!